Welcome, everyone. Let us have a round of applause for that wonderful presentation and opening. Connections, African dancers, and drummer. And we'd also like to have a round of applause for the wonderful jazz group, Indigru Jazz Trio, who kept us enthralled until we began. Hello, everyone. My name is Leslie King Hammond. Many of you know me for many years, having been with MICA. I am the Graduate Dean Emerita. I also work on innumerable projects in the arts here, which is my love and my passion. And I'm especially happy to be asked to be the host this evening. In fact, it feels a little incestuous. This is a very special moment where I get to witness one of my extended nephews. I am an extended aunt to the Irving Henry Webster Phillips dynasty. We have the occasion here to celebrate 3 magnificent generations of photographers, which I have had the honor and the pleasure and the distinction of growing up in the vortex because I lived only 3 doors away from this young man and all of the work that he inherited in his legacy. So before I go any further, I think it's most appropriate that in this moment that we celebrate Black History Month here in Baltimore City with some of Baltimore's best and finest artists, that we bring to the podium our distinguished mayor. I am so proud of her, as I hope all of you are, Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake.
Whew, I am all invigorated from that performance. Weren't those students fantastic? And it was something because the music started and I was like, I could do that. And then like a little bit into it, I felt my knees already hurting. But they were just fantastic. And I'm always excited to see what our students are doing. And they had so much energy and they just really inspired me. So I want to thank you all for joining me on what I'm hearing is a cold evening in February as we kick off Black History Month. I want to thank Dr. Leslie King Hammond. Where did you go? Back here. Thank you very, very much for all that you do. There's so many times, and I probably lost count how many times I've called on you to do different things in moving the administration forward, and I've never heard a no yet, so we're just going to keep it going. And I just appreciate all that you do, and because of your work and your legacy and your influence and the influence of MICA, I know that you have witnessed, because everybody sees a transformation in that community, and I think that what we're doing here will just build on that legacy. So I want to thank you all for being here. I heard that Councilman Welch was here somewhere. Do I see him? There you are, Councilman Welch. Thank you very much for your support. And Skip, thank you for being here, supporting everything that you do at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. I'm just filled up that we have so many great people here today. I want to thank our artists, Irving Henry Webster Phillips Jr., and I know the third is here, Irving Webster Phillips III. Thank you very, very much. I want to again thank, as was said, our performers this evening as we officially get this Black History Month kicked off. All throughout February, we will commemorate the lives, the works of those who came before us, as well as those who are here today. Tonight, we're celebrating 3 generations of local photographers, each of whom left their mark on our great city, having shown different facets of the ever-changing African-American experience. The late I. Henry Phillips Sr. was a groundbreaking photojournalist for the Afro who captured the perspective of Baltimore's African-American community. His son, Irving H. Phillips Jr., followed in his footsteps, covering the civil rights struggle of the 1960s for the Afro before pursuing an award-laden photojournalism career with The Sun from 1969 to 1993. Today, Your grandson, Webster Phillips III, maintains his family tradition. He's got camera in hand. You can't go anywhere without it, right? His fantastic work was recently featured at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum, and he continues to bring the Phillips legacy into the 21st century. As I mentioned before, each generation is bringing their perspective and their vision of our history and culture to life, and their timeless images celebrate the richness and the diversity of the Baltimore African American experience. Again, I'm very, very grateful for your efforts to keep the memory of Baltimore's past alive and to do it in such a vibrant way. You know, because there's one thing, a lot of people can take pictures, but if they don't speak to you, you know, they don't keep our history and our traditions alive. And I think the legacy of the Phillips family is that they really, the photographs really speak to our story. And I'm looking forward to having a chance to show that off all month long. So again, I'm grateful for your efforts, proud to share your work, and I know that you will inspire future generations as well to make our city better, to make our city safer and stronger. I hope everyone has a wonderful Black History Month, and I hope everyone enjoys the evening this evening. And with that, I say thank you again, and I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Leslie King Ham. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like now to do what I love to do, and that is to bring the artists to the podium. But let me just tell you a little bit something special about this group of artists. All artists have their idiosyncrasies. They have their ways of making truth reality and heightening your consciousness through their eyes, through their passions, and whatever becomes their muse. One of the things that was very, very special about living in the neighborhood, living on the block, and I was there when he was born just about, okay? He's only 6 months younger than my son, so they grew up together. But the beautiful thing was that this family, this Phillips family of photographers, were deeply invested in the community. Long before I knew, because I'm a native New Yorker, so I don't really count, I'm a transplant, you know, you can just discount me. But one of the things that distinguished Baltimore was that Irving Phillips Sr. would finish his day by coming back to the neighborhoods with the end of the roll, and he would take whatever was left. And the next morning, you would wake up and in your door would be photographs. Following in that tradition, each Phillips photographer would do the same thing. And so in my collection alone, I have some of the most personal shots, sometimes too personal. That's what happens with extended family. But the record is there. And what it is a legacy of our history as a family, as a community, as a neighborhood. We see this city growing. I elected to stay here because I believed in this city's potential. I saw the enormous heritage here. And this Phillips family is crucial to that. So either side of the rotunda are two magnificent galleries of work. And I'm so, so honored and proud that my nephew asked me to be the host. I was like, ooh, they actually know what I do. Sometimes growing up, you know, you're just the auntie in the block that says, stop doing that, or it's time to come in and eat, or it's time to go home to your house. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the two members who are here from the Phillips family. Irving Phillips Sr. Up. Junior, I'm sorry, this is Junior. And this is Irving Phillips III. Come, come. Come on.
Thank you, Dr. Hammond. I'd just like to say, I remember recording different artists used to come in and out of the house, from Romaine Bearden to anyway, the thing I picked up from my father following him around was I just love capturing the moments and people. And it would always clear my mind when I concentrated on what they were doing or their style or just how they moved or whatever. and it would just clear all the garbage out of my head. And no matter what would happen, you know, certain things would recede, but it would never surrender, like the waves, it would keep coming back and forth. So I could never give up the, you know, taking pictures. And that's why I carried my camera with me all over the place. Anyway, my son, Urban Henry Webster III. I hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. Man, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and just encourage everyone to celebrate the history 365 days. The history is so important when it comes to understanding the present and the future that we're just trying to keep it alive and have as many people see it as possible. February 9th and February 23rd, we're going to be doing some workshops at 401 North Howard Street at the Baltimore Downtown Cultural Arts Center, where we're encouraging families and youth and elders to come in and identify the photos so we can try to keep preserving the legacy. So everyone enjoy the galleries, take a look, and encourage someone else to come down before the show is down March 13th. So thanks to everyone. February 9th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, and February 23rd from 3 to 7 p.m. At the Cultural Arts Center, 401 North Howard Street.
To complete this evening's program, we are going to be very honored again with another selection from the Connections African dancers and drummers. And then the rest of the evening, we will enjoy refreshments with the music from In the Groove Jazz Trio. Thank you all so very much for being here. Please support these photographers and all the artists in our community. They love this city. We believe in this city. We are going to make this city one of the most spectacular places to live in the United States. Thank you so much.